Do you ever feel like you don't belong in one scene or another?
Yeah, I used to work at a studio in Atlanta, just trying to pitch my music to people and stuff like that. I felt the vibe. They were just looking for, let's just make the same beat over and over again and hit the four bars. Drugs, money, and sex or whatever. But it's no hate on that stuff. You know what I mean? I love that type of music. So like, it's just there. But I like embracing it.
You're listening to Ourspace with Matt Vatisse.
Hey, thanks for throwing on another episode of Ourspace with Matt Vatisse. I really appreciate it. Remember, if you're watching this on YouTube, to subscribe to the channel. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, to follow along with the show and rate and review it. It goes the longest way in terms of helping the show grow. This is the year of Ourspace. I'm telling you, I'm cooking up so many cool things behind the scenes right now that I cannot wait to talk about. A couple of things I will mention right now, though, and I think I mentioned them last week as well. New logos, new website, new content and content styles. So I cannot wait to really, really dive into this. We are going to absolutely dominate the alternative world when it comes to discovering new music, when it comes to supporting artists. And this has been a dream of mine from the beginning. If you've been listening to the show from the beginning, I think you can really hear that in my interviews and in my chats. So thank you so much for being here, because the show would literally be nothing without you watching it or listening to it each and every single week. Today's chat is actually one that I've wanted to do for a long time, but I haven't really found the perfect guest to have this conversation with. You see, back in the mid 2010s to maybe early 2020s, I did a lot of listening to rap, more specifically emo rap. And I haven't really been able to have this conversation with anyone. We're so caught up in the emo pop punk world within this podcast or even my online content that I never really get a chance to talk about Lil Peep or Juice WRLD or any of these other artists that I do genuinely love. Every now and then I have a playlist on Spotify called SoundCloud Rap, and every now and then it's kind of like nostalgic for me now, right? It's that era of my mid to late 20s where I was just really into emo rap for a while. And I think that emo rap really goes hand in hand with emo itself. I almost feel like emo rap is more of a subgenre of emo and punk music than it is of rap. Like, yeah, they're rapping, but at the same time, it's so emotional. It's so rebellious. It's so cool. It has the full spirit of all of the bands that we grew up listening to. Like when I would listen to Lil Peep or Juice WRLD, I would hear the same energy that Blink-182 and Sum 41 brought me at 14. And I knew that it was doing that for the kids of that era as well. So I wanted to have that conversation about the intersection of emo music and rap music. And I came across this rapper called Skin Up, more of a up and coming rapper right now. And they're doing kind of what Juice WRLD was doing in the early 2010s, right? Doing a little bit of that freestyle, mixing the pop punk with the rap. And so we had an interesting conversation about the two genres mixing and matching. Have there been really any sort of challenges with that along the way? Plus, of course, we talked about his music, what he has coming up. He actually has a new single that's going to be coming out in a couple of weeks as well that we didn't touch on. We more so touched on the latest single that he dropped earlier on in January called Fight Night. So stay tuned for that chat and let me know what your thoughts are on emo rap in the comments on YouTube or even the comment section on Spotify. And you know what? That's enough from us. Let's dive on into the chat with Skin Up. All right. We are with Skin Up. How's it going, dude?
Pretty good. How about yourself, man?
Doing fantastic. I'm really glad that we were able to do this chat because, I started this podcast as a way to have some conversations with alternative artists and emo artists, pop punk artists. So that was just sort of the genre and the spirit of the show. But, I've always wanted to have a conversation with a rapper that kind of fit within that emo rap sort of category because, I had a massive I don't know if I want to call it a phase or not, because I don't listen to it as often as I did back then, but still, like, emo rap was huge in the mid 2010s going on to all the way up to 2020, right? And I feel like the guys like Peep and XXX Tentacion and Juice World were even Post Malone when he was on the come up were just so huge, and they were doing something so cool and so different. And so I've wanted to have this conversation with an artist that mixes both alternative music with rap like yourself. So I'm really, really excited about our chat here. Do you remember the first time that you realized that rap and alternative music could actually coexist for you?
First off, I want to start. You did your research. I like that for sure. Man, just growing up in Atlanta, just being around rap a lot, you know what I mean? I've been really inspired by, Young Thug, the Migos. Back in the day, I met up with the Migos and got really inspired by them. I was actually one of the first ones in my town onto them. I just loved showing everybody like trap music and stuff like that. Then just growing up, my parents showed me like Green Day, you know what I'm saying? Just different rock bands and stuff like that. And I don't know, man. I think it's always just been integrated in what I'm doing. When I first started off, I was still using like guitar beats and stuff like that. So yeah, I would just say, I don't know. It just came out naturally, honestly.
Growing up, were you sort of, because obviously Atlanta is sort of the hot spot for rap music. Growing up, did you find it hard being a fan of both types of scenes and music?
Nah, honestly, I mean, I do my own thing. I don't care, what people think or like, oh, you got to fit into this one box or anything. So not at all.
What did you get into first?
Rock music, actually. So I was born in Nashville. I tell this story on a lot of my podcasts. What got me into rock music was so in Nashville, they play music everywhere, like literally everywhere you go. I remember being like 5 years old and going to a bowling alley. They had a big screen playing music videos up there. And I saw Green Day on the screen. I was like, that's what I want to do. So I got into rock first. And then I moved down here and I was like, wait, trap music's pretty cool.
Yeah, blending the two. I mean, I've always said that punk music specifically, along with hip hop, they kind of both have the exact same ethos, right?
Yeah.
Like they've got that same, like they're rooted in a rebellion and also a community of outsiders and outcasts, right? So I feel like there's a lot of similarities there, which is kind of funny because I feel like growing up, depending on where you grew up, there was the kids that listened to rap and the kids that listened to punk, and a lot of the times they didn't necessarily get along. But then you kind of grow up to be an adult and you're like, oh yeah, no, these are actually rooted in the same, and you can like both. And it was like, if you listen to rap music where I grew up, you kind of like secretly liked Green Day, but you didn't publicly admit it. Whereas if you liked punk music, you kind of secretly liked some Tupac songs, but never really admitted it,
I could see that. Especially being North like you. I could see that.
Yeah. And, I'm from one of the most multicultural cities in the world. So it's definitely, a weird smorgasbord of culture. I'm kind of curious because there is sort of like a macho-ness to rap music, and you're bringing more of that emotional side to your songs.
For sure.
What made you exactly want to say, hey, I'm going to take this and make it more emotional?
All my songs are really made from what I feel. You know what I mean? Like, I don't write any of my lyrics. It's all freestyles or punched in. So it's literally just like straight off the dome, straight from my heart. I feel you on the macho-ness. I have some songs that they hit like that, but I like to keep it real. I like having people feel something, relate, to the feelings that they're feeling. I want to help everybody go through what they're going through. So whether any way they interpret my music, like, it's a W.
Do you think that emo rap now is its own genre, or is rap just kind of becoming more sensitive?
I think it's its own genre, but I would say, like, myself, I'm genreless. I've got some pop songs, I've got pretty rock songs, and then I have complete rap songs, So this next one I'm about to drop is really I mean, it's emo rap, but it's more Atlanta trap music for sure.
That's cool. And that's interesting to be mixing with, like the emo stuff with trap music. Do you ever felt gate kept by either scene? Like, do you ever feel like you don't belong in one scene or another?
Yeah. I used to work at a studio in Atlanta, just trying to pitch my music to people and stuff like that. I felt the vibe. They were just looking for, let's just make the same beat over and over again and, hit the four bars, drugs, money, and sex or whatever. But it's no hate on that stuff. You know what I mean? I love that type of music. So like, it's just there, but I like embracing it.
Absolutely. And if you're feeling that way and you're feeling gate kept by one of the scenes necessarily, like, it's kind of cool that you get to embrace two different types of music and mesh them together. I feel like some of the coolest artists are able to do that. And I feel like that's thinking outside the box.
No doubt.
But I'm curious what you think rap learned from alternative music and vice versa.
Like you said, just the rebelliousness of the attitude, some swag a little bit. I see the rappers looking like rock stars these days,
Mm-hmm.
They got the long hair, they're dressing in skinny jeans, ripped shirts and stuff like that. So I think it's just overall swag, I feel like they've taken.
Do you ever find that, like, as a rapper that's more emotional, that it's a lot scarier in a sense?
I mean, I hold my own, I'm not too big on looking at comments and feeling some type of way. If anybody's trying to hate on how I feel or how I'm trying to make other people's feel, then they can feel that way.
You mentioned a little while back that you do a lot of freestyling, or rather that all of your songs are freestyling. How many takes do you do on a beat of different freestyles before you get to the point where you're like, yeah, this is the one?
So I'll do like sections. I'll work on sections. Sometimes I'll make a chorus and it'll be in the verse spot. I'll be like, wait, no, this sounds like a chorus. Let's move it over. And then what I'll do from there is then I'll go over it and re-record and just get the vocals right. You know what I mean? Like actually sing on it. But yeah, I just kind of like set a blueprint with my freestyle, and then just go back in and perfect that.
So you'll kind of freestyle it and then cut and paste type deal until you've got like a fully formed song.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Who do you look up to the most when it comes to writing your music?
I don't have like a certain artist I look to, especially nowadays. Back in the day, I used to be very inspired by other people, but I've learned that can kind of be noise and put a crutch on you a little bit because you're kind of trying to copy people in a way. I mean, right now, I don't even use social media like that. Unless I'm posting something or anything like that, I'm like, I stay off of it because I want to be influenced by what I like. And once I open that up, I start comparing. What they're doing is pretty cool. Let me try that. And it just like makes things harder. I'm like, nah, let me just do what I like and let's see if it works.
I think that's a very real comment, very, very real. I think it's really easy to be not just inspired, but fall into the trap of that's what that person's doing that's successful. Maybe I should try doing it. And it takes you away from your edge and your angle and your creativity. So that's actually really interesting that you say that.
It makes you confused. You start getting confused. Oh, well, they're doing so much better and their video looks like this. Mine has to look like that. And now you're confused on why your video doesn't look like that. Because you're not them. That's why.
But how does that play when it comes to music? Because obviously you're listening to other music.
Yeah.
So do you avoid listening to rap or alternative music? Are you like, at home listening to jazz? Or are you just listening to...
So with the music, definitely going to listen to music. I don't listen for, they're using this guitar tone here, or, they used auto-tune at that time or whatever. I just listen to quality. And if a song is quality, then I like it. You know what I mean? It's just got to be quality music.
Then how do you avoid listening to quality music without it creeping in as an influence later on,
I mean, I'm definitely, I take inspiration from music for sure. But it's still kind of just doing my own thing. It just comes out. I don't get it.
I can appreciate that.
Hell yeah.
I can appreciate that. So what kind of music do you go to when you're not trying to create something?
Have you heard of Dina Ayada?
I have not, no.
Man, she's fire. She's fire. She's like a R&B artist. She kind of raps a little bit. I got Lil Wayne on here right now. 21 Savage and Drake's new album was pretty cool. Yeet. So like, I mean, I listen to a lot of rap, honestly.
Where do you think rap is headed in the next few years?
Man, it's on a decline right now. It's so bad. I don't know what happened. I guess everybody was able to make their own at-home studios and use their phone to make songs. But I think that people should start really listening to what they're making and like create art and not just like trying to be famous, you know?
It's funny that you mentioned that it's on a decline, because I think I had mentioned, the mid 2010s so there's that good 5-year period there where I was listening to a lot of rap music. I feel like rap always kind of like creeps its way on into my playlists. There's like a cycle. Obviously, I'm more so into the pop punk and emo stuff. Yeah. And then every now and then like a rap artist will come out and do something really cool. But I feel like once again, it comes down to how rap can be that rebellious type of music, right? And I feel like there was a point where pop punk and punk music was sort of not really having its moment at the time, and rap was really popular having its moment. And now it feels like punk and emo music are just sort of at the top, and rap has sort of gotten forgotten about. But for someone like you that's mixing the two, is there one in particular that you tend to lean more on for influences as of right now?
I mean, rap. I would say my playlist is just full of rap right now. I think what has happened is people want positivity, or they want happier sounding songs, even if the song is sad. With rap music, there was a lot of drill music going on, and that was what was getting on. Like you said, there was the 2010s to the, like, let's say like 2018, the SoundCloud era. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Tons of rap music coming out. It was like, oh, this is the new thing. But then people realize, like, wait, this is kind of affecting my life negatively. So they've moved towards, oh, I really want to feel something instead, like help my emotions out. COVID hit. People were tired of just negativity, I feel like.
Yeah, I also feel like, there was a few things that went into play with that as well. I think a lot of young, very, very talented rappers died way too young.
Yes, for sure.
I also feel like with that side of things as well, it freshened things up for rap music because it was so emotionally vulnerable and it wasn't so macho, which, I think a lot of people were able to relate to that. It was kind of a mix of both. I think one of my favorite rappers from that era was Juice WRLD, and I don't think a lot of people really did it as well as he did. And I'm sure someone like you as a freestyler can appreciate that as 100%. Well, right?
Very inspired by Juice WRLD, for sure.
I think that it got rid of a lot of the expectations of what rap music needs to be.
Yeah.
And I think it was really cool. I think that era, the big reason why I think it was so cool for people like myself and it crossed those boundaries were because a lot of those guys were inspired by the same artists that I grew up listening to. Like if you listen to those guys in interviews like Peep or Juice, they're saying like, hey, Blink 182, that's who I look up to,
exactly. Literally.
Well, you did also release a song not too long ago, Fight Night. Let's talk a little bit about that. Tell me a little bit about the song and why it's so special to you.
Fight Night's really cool. This song is about just leveling up in life. So I don't know if you saw the music video, but we filmed it in a boxing ring. Obviously, Fight Night. And I got my boys, Josh and Lecker, behind me as the coaches, and they basically put me into the ring to start the fight. It's like a metaphor for saying like, yo, we're putting skin up in as our fighter in the music industry. So it's supposed to be just inspirational. It's supposed to be about leveling up, just making the best for yourself.
And you directed this on your own, which is a pretty big move. Was there, so it's about leveling up. Did you storyboard this? Was this something that kind of came from a chat, or where did that come from? The the theme of leveling up?
Dude, it's magic. I don't know. It's magic, bro.
What were the influences from maybe film or another visual or anything like that?
Okay, so the influence on the video itself, after I made the song, I was listening to it and I feel like it fits where, like, if you're watching a fight at night, like on pay-per-view or whatever, whenever they bring up like the stats of the dudes and there's just showing a picture and the announcer's like talking, I feel like it could be right there, like the transition of just, yo, this is so and so, he's 180 pounds, you know what I'm saying? And like just fight nights playing in the background. So I don't know. That's where I got the inspiration from.
What's something that you hope people take away from your music beyond just the energy?
I want it to help them. Seriously. Like, I really want them to, man, I've gotten extreme amount of DMs just of people telling me that my music has helped them through whatever they're going through in life. And that's what I strive for. Any way they can take it in that way, it's on them, you know, but I just want it to help them.
What can people expect from you coming up this year? It's the start of the year still, so we still got a long way to go. So what can people expect in 2026 from you?
Big year, man. We already started all crazy. We're dropping every other month this year. So a song every other month this year, with visuals, plenty of, you know, TikToks and things like that. We are lining up some festivals as well. I can't say which ones they are, but definitely some festivals coming up as well.
Ooh, when are they going to be announced?
Probably by summer, for sure.
By summer, okay.
Yeah.
Not in the next month or so, huh?
No, I wish. I want to give it out so fast, but I can't.
Yeah, I know. I was like, if you're saying in the next month or so, I'm like, Warp Tour? We won't get that out of you. Not officially on the record while we're recording. That's fine. One of the things that I like to ask each and every single person that comes on the show, because the show is about growing the music scene and sharing some love to other artists. Who are some of your favorite artists right now that are on the come up?
Dinah, like I said earlier, bro, I'm listening to her songs every day. She just dropped an album. It's actually insane. Have you heard of Tu Hollis?
No.
Tu Hollis is fire. Julia Wolf, she's super fire. Girlfriends, you know who?
Oh yeah, love Girlfriends. Yeah.
Hard. Maggie Lindman, she's good. Beauty School Dropout, fire.
Oh yeah, I had them on the show too. They're fantastic.
They're fire, bro. I like their new album.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to chat, and definitely going to have to check out some of these artists that you named as well. Sure. Before we wrap things up, I just want to say, make sure that you watch it on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, give it a like. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, follow, rate, and review the show as well. That's the biggest way that you can support the show. And of course, it's free. And go and check out Skin Up's music, across of emo and rap music. He's doing a fantastic job right now. So go and check it out and give him a follow on Spotify as well for those releases every other month, like he mentioned. Thank you so much for coming on the show, dude.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you for listening to Ourspace with Matt Batisse. If you enjoyed yourself, please support the show by subscribing and leaving a review.